Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Saturday the 10th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly decent time frame. Got up, got out, the dog's outside, all that good fun stuff. One of the old dogs had peed on my floor. I'm not sure which one it was, so who knows, you just have to kind of deal with it. So got that all cleaned up, got the dogs all out, got them all basically just kind of hanging outside for a bit. Decided I was going to jump in my ice plunge, which really isn't that cold yet because I don't have enough ice and I don't have any insulation on it yet. So all I've got is a couple sheets on top, just basically keeping the sun off it. It's all I'm doing at the moment, and still building my frame. So I went ahead and threw a bunch of ice in it. And how are you doing today? Or don't speak to anybody. So people are strange as shit. They'll look right at you and you'll say hi to them, and they just like put their head down. The moment you speak, no, you can't speak to them. You can just say hi to somebody. So if I was a deranged maniac, one of the worst things you can do to somebody, from the research, is ignore them, because then they think they're in this weird, distorted reality that they think things aren't real anyway. And then they just thought they spoke to a person, turned out not to speak back, so they think that person's not real, and they think that person's a demon, and so on and so forth. It becomes a whole thing. So yeah, it's such a weird mindset of how people do that. So anyway, but went ahead, threw a bunch of ice in there stuff, let the ice cool down the water as best it can, because I'm putting in, I don't know, 4 gallons or so of ice cold ice floating around there and stuff, while I need more than that. But I'm not willing to buy all the bags, and I have a chiller coming, so I'm not really working too hard to get a bunch of ice jugs and stuff. And what I probably should do is, I got a 1 gallon frozen milk jug. I should probably get a couple more of those and then chuck them in at night before I go to bed, and then let it cool overnight, so then make sure it's fully melted out. But it is what it is. Also, it's when you leave them in the bottles, the jugs and stuff, it doesn't cool as good. So if you dumped in smaller ice cubes, because the more surface area it hits, the quicker it gets cold. But the bigger chunks, they cool longer, so it all cools the same amount, just how quickly it gets there. So if I chucked it on there and stuff, went ahead, hopped in for a little bit, and it's still cold going in, but nowhere near as cold as it needs to be to really get the effect I'm after. But it's slightly uncomfortable. So my goal is to basically build myself up to a tolerance of that once I get the chiller coming. So went ahead, got out of there, got the dogs all back in, got them all separated out, got them all fed, everybody medicated, and so on and so forth. And then hung around the morning. Wife finally got up, I got a few things going, got a few things done, and then they headed to the store, and they got a much later start than normal. And they're like, oh, we're taking on the store. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I got a dog getting picked up any minute now. But they're like, oh, we can check around. I'm like, no, that wasn't at all. I was just telling you what was going on. That's what was happening. So, and they're like, oh, let's check around. I'm like, I wasn't saying that at all. So they hung around until the dog got picked up. Which wasn't a big deal. How are you guys doing today? Went ahead and get the puppy back. They were hearing about how it went. I told them how it went. But aside from the not really wanting to settle down at night, sleep the night kind of thing, everything went really good. They had a great time. Sent videos of the dog playing with the other dogs and stuff, and absolutely had a great time with that. So, but yeah, super cool people. Got the dog home, went back out. Wife and mother went to the store, doing their grocery shopping and stuff for the week, and then I ended up back with the dogs, hanging out there for the day. And then I had another dog getting dropped off about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So they got home from the groceries, and I went and opened the garage door for them and whatnot, made sure all the dogs are outside, because that way I don't worry about a dog getting loose to the door. They're going in and out of the garage and stuff, bringing groceries. It makes my life just much more or less stressful. I don't have to mess with that thought of anything that happens. So went ahead and then had a couple of things done in the yard. Got the major, working my sprinkler system a little bit, and just kind of adjusting stuff and whatnot. And then from there, the other dog got dropped off about 3. Hung around with them for a little bit, got them outside. We all played for a little while, and he's another old ass dog. He don't really play much, so not really much of playing, but he got some run around, got some sniffing going on. And then from there, I decided to go get my run in. Went and get my run done earlier than I normally do, I guess I'd say. Got back, basically hopped in the shower, and then Mom and Karen made up Basically took a bunch of tortilla shells, lined a cookie sheet, and then put a bunch of cheese down, a bunch of taco seasoned meat, and then more cheese, more tortilla shells, parchment paper, and a baking sheet to put on top to hold it down flat, and then basically baked in the oven for, I don't know, 25 minutes or it was, get it kind of crispy, and basically made like little flat, hard and cooked tacos, and it was good. It was really good. Got the rest of the dogs fed while we were waiting for that to get finished cooked. I got a shower, basically ate. I think it needed like, I don't know, maybe some chives or some kind of tomato or something, make it more like a taco instead of just the beef and cheese, because it just seemed a little bit lacking in flavor, like complexity, I guess was kind of what I'm after. It's kind of a little bit on the dull side, but it was good. It worked super easy. Once the taco meat was seasoned up, there's really not much to it, so it's a pretty easy, lazy meal that looks nicer than what it really maybe is. And I think I should have done, if I had a big enough cookie sheet or cutting board or whatever, I really probably should have flipped it over upside down out of the pan, because trying to cut it in the pan, I didn't get a real good cut on it. So I had it out like on a larger cutting board. I could have then made a cleaner, crisper cut, which would have presented better on the plate. But it is what it is. So got done there, headed back outside with the dogs. I spend all my time outside. Got a 3D printer running. Seems to be running pretty good. Pretty content with how it's doing. Got a bunch of stuff printing. We had a storm roll through, and it started late in the evening. The storm started to roll through, and I started a 11-hour print, which I was like, okay, hope everything goes good. Then I had a storm pop up. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And the storm started, you could hear it off in the distance, the waves. And then one of the dogs started really having like just panting attacks. And I don't remember her doing that. Like, she hasn't done that for a long time. And I don't remember if I've ever really had her do it here. So I reached out to the owner, and it was like 9 o'clock at night. It's kind of late, but I reached out to the owner. I'm not sure where she went on her trip. I'm not sure what time zone she's in. But I'm like, hey, not for nothing, but we got a storm coming in. But I'm really concerned because I don't remember her having these situations. And she basically had said that I guess she used to have them really bad, and then she started reverting back to them again. And like, it sounds like she's gonna have a heart attack. Like, literally, the dog's like barely able to breathe. It sounds like it's ridiculous. So at least I knew that something happens off and on, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So I got to I wasn't thinking I had to rush to the vet. That was my thing. So I'm like, this dog, like, it literally has some breathing problems here that makes me think this dog might need to go to the vet. And then she said, no, it's a nervous thing, not a actual breathing thing. I'm like, okay, cool. So I got her a safe space, gave her a couple options of where she'd go. She ended up choosing underneath my chair is where she wanted to be, which I think surprised that feels safe, close to me. Also, got a little bit of a cave type situation. And the other dogs I got are also old and deaf and blind. I don't know if they even knew there was a storm coming. So storm hits, power bumps, and of course printer stops. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, did I just waste all this filament? And then was able to go back because power bumps was off very short time. Was able to hit the save thing, whatever on it, and restarted, and it kept printing. So I'm like, shit, I gotta love this. So I was able to basically continue printing the print without incident, which made me feel, I was like, that's cool, happy about that. So went ahead and got that done, and then kept printing. The storm rolled through, and basically we didn't get too bad. It was kind of gross for a little bit, but it wasn't too bad, and the dogs did fine after that. Finally headed back in, and then of course the dogs always take a while to get down. The old dogs are so old and senile, and I think it's almost a bit of like sundowning that you have when old people get, where once the sun goes down they start getting neurotic and scared of everything. And I kind of think some of these old dogs do the same thing. So, but did our best to get them all settled in, get them all comfortable, so we can finally get ourselves some sleep and some rest. But that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys. Oh, I went ahead, also forgot shit. After that, before the storm rolled in, after dinner, I decided to put together my father-in-law's record shelf, my IKEA, which is this giant 25 cube shelf thing. It's like 6 foot by 6 foot, whatever. It's a massive piece. So I assembled it all together, and have to wait to put some more corner brackets on. I ordered some corner brackets off Amazon to strengthen it up, make it stronger, make it more rigid. And then as the storm started rolling, I was like, oh shit, this thing's gonna get ruined. I didn't know how bad the storm was gonna wind and blow, so I brought it inside real quick and set it in my living room, which looks so stupid, but hopefully the brackets get here tomorrow. I can get them installed and then get it moved across the street. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.